Inca Tecarac, Isaac Bojorquez. Good day, hello, I'm Isaac Bojorquez. I'm a parent with NUSD and I'm here with 2 of my 3 boys and I will let them introduce themselves.
I am Carlos. I am here with my father and my older sibling.
My name is Albert and I go to Leroy Green Academy.
In honor of Native American Heritage Month in November, we're happy to share a recipe from a family friend of fry bread. Fry bread is not, I would say, the most traditional food, but it's one that has become part of indigenous people's daily diet due to some sad history that took place. The whole relocation of indigenous communities, of tribes, as they were pushed into desolate areas. We weren't given good land. We were given land that could bear no crops. It was meant for us to go and not to be able to survive. They took us away from our staple foods of our acorns, of our rivers for fresh water, for fish, from the oceans. For my people being an ocean, they took us away from the ocean, from the abalone, from the seaweed, the salt, the things that we would gather. And they pushed us to the most desolate places that animal life was scarce. But the government did provide what we refer to as commands. So they would say, you know, here you are on your land. If you stay within these boundaries, we provide for you, we'll take care of you. And so they would bring supplies. Unfortunately, a lot of the times those supplies would be spoiled supplies. They would be rotten fruit, rotten meat. But the thing that we always got was flour. And a lot of the times, as long as flour is stored properly, it does maintain. But that's how fry bread came to be. It came out of a necessity to survive based off the food that was provided to the communities. Most people know fry bread or an Indian taco. So there's a variety of things you can do with fry bread once you make it. So our family is going to experiment making some fry bread with you all with a recipe of a family friend. So you need 2 cups of flour, and then we're just gonna take our baking powder, and it can be whatever you got. We got Winco. And I'm gonna loosen that up a little bit for you, and you're gonna do the same. Get a full tablespoon. You wanna incorporate both of those ingredients. So you're gonna wanna mix that. The other thing is, so we have sea salt here, and that's one of the better salts to use. You can put salt into it. I'm on a low sodium diet, so we're not putting in the salt. But if you do like salt or you like cooking with salt, you would put in a teaspoon of salt. So we're going back to our mixing and we're gonna get that mixed up. And while the boys are doing that, I already have some water. This is about a cup and a quarter from not tap water. We did it from our reverse osmosis water. You can use bottled water. It calls for a cup of water, but I do a little bit more, and then I microwave it for about a minute to a minute and 30 seconds, so a minute and a half, so that you have good hot water. If you want to be precise, what I was told is you want that water at about 130 degrees. Now, you guys are gonna need to mix this really slow because I don't want you guys to burn yourself, and I'm gonna put this on this side because we're not gonna put it all in at once. Do me a favor and make like a little hole in the center. There you go. All right, you ready, Albert? I'm gonna pour this hot water in there, and then you're gonna take the spoon and then move the flour into the water, our mixture of the flour and the baking soda. Yep, a little bit at a time. And it's gonna get sticky and stick to the spoon. That's okay, keep mixing. Yeah, you want it all to mix up. It'll actually get really sticky. You can mix it by hand if you want. I only did the spoon or a whisk because it was shared with me. If your hands aren't built up for heat, obviously since you're putting in warm water, you don't want to burn yourself. But if you're mixing it by hand, it would really be very sticky. And you'll see that right now when we get to a spot that we're gonna add probably a little bit more water. And we will have to mix it by hand because then we're also gonna, I call it dusting, sprinkling a little bit and adding a little bit of flour until we get the texture that we want and it's not sticking to the hands. So when it's able to hold its own form and not stick to you and be all sticky, be able to be rolled out. So we're looking for a nice, good, spongy texture. And then once it's incorporated, you're just working that in, trying to get a texture that is right for rolling. So after you get it to the texture that you want, you're gonna move it into, you can leave it in the same bowl or you can put it into a different bowl, but you're gonna wanna let it rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. After you let it rest, you'll kind of see the consistency of the dough that we have here. So we can pull this out. It will be a little tacky just because I did not flour the new bowl that I put it into. So you can see that it comes around, but it's not sticking to my hands. So that's kind of what you're looking for, is the finished texture. So we're gonna do that. We are actually going to dust our surface here.
Like what Grandma does for me.
Yep, just like what Grandma does for the tortillas. And then we're gonna set that down, roll that into the dust a little bit, so that we can break this into some portions, almost like making tortillas. And you're gonna take it and roll it, and I'm gonna let you guys do it after I show you with one. And we're just gonna break it into little pieces, and then we're gonna set those off to the side. And I only dusted the surface just so it doesn't stick to the surface. And so I'm gonna let the boys go through, and they're gonna break this all up. Who's ready to roll?
Me.
Okay. So the next fun part again is you're gonna wanna basically dust your surface. And then you're gonna grab your ball, and if you roll it like this, Carlos, then you can get it down kinda into a flat surface. And you can push it down if you want.
Why you just
And
talking?
then, well, because you're gonna do the first one. And we're gonna lay it there in the flour, and you're gonna lay it back in the flour, and you're gonna take your pin. I like to put a little bit of flour in my hand, and then put that so it coats my rolling pin. And then you're just gonna take it and you're gonna roll this like making a tortilla. And I know you've seen your mom make tortillas before, and Grandma. And you're gonna roll that, not as super thin as a tortilla, but you're gonna roll that out. Probably till you get probably about this size. So you're looking for a size probably roughly about like that, because it'll shrink down when we fry it. Trick of the tray that you want to do, just for safety when you're cooking with the oil, is you're going to want to make at least one cut in the center. If you want to make 2 or 3, that's even better. Then you're going to drop that into a pan that has roughly about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of your preferred oil that you like cooking in, and you're just going to fry this up. Even we're making meals every day of the week. It is a way of life for us in the indigenous community that when you're preparing food, you do it in a good way. So it's not something that we would come home from work and immediately dive right into the kitchen and be like, hey, we gotta make this, we gotta make that. Because how you feel goes into your food. If you've had a bad day and you have a lot of frustration, you have a lot of stress, anger, or other things that might affect you, that can go into your food as you're preparing it, because those are the feelings that you have. So for us, it's very important that when you prepare food, you're in a good way. We come home, we ground ourselves, we get ready, and a part of not only washing your hands, but you're washing yourself and letting things go. And then you get ready to cook. So that is a way of life. It's a tradition that we use and still practice to this day. So if you're not in a good way, then you don't cook. But you can kind of see that the slits that are in it allows it so it just doesn't bubble up, and because you see it boiling on the edges, and a lot of the times it will splatter or spit sometimes as that pressure builds up underneath. You can see after it's been frying, this one fried a little bit more just because our oil wasn't hotter. Or as hot as it probably should have been, but you can see it kind of gets that golden texture, and so that's what you're looking for. And then you're definitely going to want to let it sit. If you had like a strainer or something, you could put paper towels into to let that oil get away. It's always a great thing to do. We're just going to let it sit there on the plate. All right. I think yours came out better.
What do you think of it?
It's pretty good.
How about Carlos?
I don't like it.
Carlos doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it?
Too plain.
But all in all, the flavor's good. I don't miss the salt at all. I hope you get to enjoy your fry bread. Have fun with it. And again, top it with whatever you want. If I had more time, we would have made some Indian tacos with it. We would have had some ground beef. You could definitely put a refried or a whole bean. We like ours with a whole bean. And then you would put down your ground beef or ground turkey, some lettuce, tomato, onion, whatever else you might want to throw on there. And I like mine with chili. So hope you enjoy. I'm at this point going to say Mishi Stu again. Have a good day. From my home to your home. I hope you enjoy it. And hope everyone has a happy Native American Heritage Month.
What do you think of it with honey?
Need some meat.
Okay, that's all. Thank you. That's a wrap.